50 Shades of Grey. I don't even know where to go with this. I try not to watch bad movies. Obviously, when I was younger, I would go into Blockbuster. Do you remember when you would go to Blockbuster or like a video rental store and you would pick up a movie and you'd be like, oh, this movie looks awesome. So you'd bring it home and you'd check it out. Sometimes it really was or it was okay. Other times it wasn't. Sometimes you would also pick something that you really liked, like Batman. You're like, man, they can't screw up Batman. Batman and Robin. They sure did. Now, as time went on though, eventually there was just so many sources, the internet, that could tell you if a movie was going to be good or bad. IMDb, Metacritic, YouTubers who would review movies. I look at a lot of YouTubers and I can kind of have an idea of if or not I will like a movie. Obviously sometimes they're obviously off a little bit on what I'll enjoy. Sometimes, rarely, they'll really praise a movie and I'll really dislike it. Sometimes they will really dislike a movie and I will really like it. That does happen. So with every movie you have to go in with, giving it the chance, and you're gonna judge it based on what you like. So that's what I wanted to do with this movie. And I had an idea that this was not gonna be good. I was right. Boy, was I right. I was actually kind of wrong in the sense that I thought it was going to be a little bit better than this. I had that much hope in this movie. How could I not? It was a red flag right away. This movie is based off of a fan fiction for Twilight. Think about that for a second. Fan fiction for Twilight. That got turned into... How did this get turned into a novel? I understand turning it into a movie. Hollywood saw, boom, lots of people are reading the book, we're going to turn this into a movie. $350 million so far after what? A weekend? and a week, and they're already at like a $350 million? Yeah, they did the right call in turning it into a movie. But turning it into a book, how could you have thought? I guess because Twilight was such a big success that they were like, yeah, let's give this a shot. Put it out there. And everybody started reading it. Mostly women. Obviously there were some guys, but mostly women. And I don't understand either, like, what is the appeal to this? All I know is that a bunch of people, I think it was just like, women were reading this, and every other woman wanted to follow suit. What's this book, 50 Shades of Grey? I'm like, there's a few friends that I knew that were reading the book. I was like, so how's the book? And then they explain it, and like a lot of people are reading this, and I always ask them, like, what about the S&M stuff? And they'd be like, oh yeah, it's in there, and you're like, that's really not fun. Really? Why are you reading the book? That's the whole driving force of the series here is the S&M stuff. The rest is all secondary. With Twilight, I will even go as to say that with Twilight, there was vampires and werewolves. And that's, 1,000 times better than S&M, unless you're into S&M. But even if you are, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with S&M, that's not my cup of tea. I mean, if you drink it, that's fine, that's cool. I don't drink it. That's fine. Everybody likes something different. Now, even if you liked S&M, why are you watching this movie? It's rated R. I assume you would want something more hardcore, that does it correctly, real, not fake. They're actors acting. So even if you like S&M, there's no real reason to watch this. You know what you like, and you want something a little bit more than this. And if you don't like S&M, I'm watching it because I wanted to review it. That's the reason why I wanted to watch it. That's the only reason. If I didn't have this channel, I wouldn't have watched this movie. I really wouldn't have. Once in a while, there's like some movie that you hear that is so bad that you're gonna check it out. Sometimes that happens, and sometimes I'm guilty of doing that, but man, I would probably skip this one. I watched the first Twilight, and that was enough. I didn't watch any of the others. I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. Oh, hell no. I got the hell out of there. And Twilight is better than this movie. The first one anyway. I can't speak for the others. We haven't even talked about what the story is, because mainly, okay, this is the story. There's a girl, kind of like in Twilight, very boring life, that meets this guy. Instead of being a vampire, he's a billionaire bachelor, playboy. Very good looking, he's rich, and he's into S&M. Instead of being a vampire, he's into S&M. And for some reason, they decide to start getting together. And here's the thing, they are complete opposites. Complete. I don't understand how they can, okay, at the beginning, I can kind of understand why he would be attracted to her, because he's the dominant one in the S&M stuff, so he wants to, want something that's submissive. Now, she's very innocent, she's shy, The way she dressed was very like church schoolgirl type thing. Not even schoolgirl, because that's like skirts. She was not in a skirt. It's just like she could be submissive. She's definitely not going to be the dominant one. So I could understand why he would like her at the beginning. But as things progressed, they should have noticed that they're completely on the opposite ends. Not even opposite ends like this. I'm going like this. Oh my goodness. And she should have seen red flags also at the beginning, like before even the second act starts. The first act I was kind of interested because it's kind of just like it was like a romance movie, and I was like, oh my god. I wanted the romance more than anything else. I was like, I don't like romantic movies. I really don't. But I was more interested in the romantic aspects of this thing than anything when she's taking off her shirt, I'm like, yeah, this is boring. Okay, gonna tie her up. Alright. I didn't care. So anyway, she should have seen the red flag that, he's probably not right for me, because they meet at an interview when she's writing an article about him in her school journal, a school paper, not paper, but like a journal for the school, like a magazine, or newspaper. And he gets attracted to her, so he meets her, he goes and sees where she works, and he picks up a bunch of stuff with rope, and I'm like, oh my god, they're really just pushing this as far as they can, can't they? They're just gonna push. Oh, things to come. Things to come. I hate this movie. Then they meet up again, and he does a photo shoot for the journal, and then they decide to go and have coffee, and then she goes out and gets drunk, and she drunk dials him, and she drunk calls him, and he's like, "What the hell are you doing drinking? Stop that drinking! This is nonsense!" And he's being super dominant. And I'm like, what the like? Why? Why are you so upset that you're not even like dating at all? You two haven't kissed, you two haven't held hands, you don't have a date set like, oh, do you want to go out and see a movie next week? Do you want to go out and do... No, there's nothing set in stone that you two are going to be linked at all. And you're like so aggressive and controlling, and I'm like, why is she even considering? And after that, they end up like start having a relationship, and he explains, I don't want a relationship. I want basically friends with benefits, but only in a dominant role. I'm the dominant, you're the submissive. It says S&M stuff. And she's a virgin. Do you see how like they're like this? And as the movie progresses, they keep going like this. He's into S&M stuff. She's a virgin. He's super controlling. She's innocent and shy. There's like, why are they together? It doesn't make any sense. She wants a relationship. She's a virgin. She probably, either she just never got lucky, which could happen, I guess, but I mean, she's an attractive girl, attractive lady. So she probably has morals about it, and she was waiting for the right one. When she explains she's a virgin, the cheesiest lines in this movie too. It's so bad. She explains she's a virgin. He's like, where have you been all my life? And she's like, I'm waiting for you. So, and then after they decide, she signs a contract. Yeah, he also has a contract, a non-disclosure agreement, and she has to go through this entire list of what she's willing to do, which, okay, I can understand that that's probably a good thing, kind of heads up, but it's so specific on being the submissive person, and it's just like, oh, it's so specific, and I guess it is, but it's pretty damn extreme, man. That's out there. So she signs this agreement, and then there's all the movie. The second act and the third act is S&M, 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 S&M. Oh, this is the sixth time now that she's taking off her clothes, and he's gonna tie her up, and he's gonna spank her with something. That's it. Move on to the next scene. Oh, S&M again, taking off the clothes, tying her down, spanking her with something, or tickling her with something. It's not really even that varied for the S&M stuff. I was just like, oh god, this is boring. I was so excited, like when I was talking about earlier, when the romantic stuff would happen, and she would be questioning their relationship. And I was like, yes, give me this all the time. And then here I am, I'm siding with her, and I'm like, leave him. Leave him. He's bad for you. He's even saying it once in a while. So he would be like, oh, you can't be with me, you can't be with me. But then he like draws her in, and he's like, you can't do this. I'm so upset that you're leaving and going to see your mother. Why are you doing, why are you drinking? He's so controlling. And he's like, leave me. And it's so mixed. And she even brings that up. And I'm like, just leave him. Just do it. Just go. Just, oh my God. I'm siding with the girl. Here's the thing. Friends with benefits can work. Relationships can work. Real relationships. Boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. The thing is, both parties have to want it. Or at least be interested in it. She was a virgin, very innocent, probably had no intention of doing an S&M. I'm not saying that, you know, later on she could get into it, but like, you know, meet her halfway, like and he kind of does, it's like, one day a week we can go on a date like a real couple does, but I still just don't want anything else in a relationship. I'm not gonna sleep in the same bed as you. This is your room. It's, I really don't, I don't know where else to go with this. It's just like, I wanted the romantic parts to be, you know, the movie. I wanted her to leave him. Like, I'm screaming at her in my mind. I'm just like, leave him, leave him. I'm just gonna go to the final rating because there's nothing else I can say. The only positive I can say about this is that I don't even know. It's shot okay. There's a few times where they go in the air. That's kind of cool. Like flying in a helicopter and a plane. Everything looks nice. I mean, the scenery, I guess, looks good. I'm drawing at strings here. Yeah, so everything else, there's too much S&M here. And I don't know who the market audience is, honestly. Twilight made sense. It's vampires, and it's women. It was teenagers for the most part. This was the demographic. Obviously, all age groups went and saw the Twilight movies, but the main demographic was teenagers and female teenagers who wanted a relationship. And I mean, having a vampire teenager as a relationship, it's awesome. For teenagers, that makes sense. Not a good movie in my opinion, but it made sense at least. This is S&M. If you like S&M, you want more hardcore stuff. If you don't like S&M, why the hell are you watching it? So I don't know why this movie even existed. I don't know why I watched it. 3 out of 10 is my rating. This is the lowest by far rating that I've given on here. I don't even know if I've done 5 out of 10 yet. I know I've done 6 out of 10s, but 3 out of 10, I think that might be too high. I don't know. Thank you all for watching. Even bearded in. Bearded.